Nail fungus. I have decided that half the world has nail fungus, and most have athlete's foot along with it, sometimes called cracking heel. So 25 years ago, I had cracking heel, a kind of nail fungus that causes your toes to crack, bleeding in between, your heels hurt, and I started going to a dermatologist. Now, I had known this dermatologist for a number of years already. I had my DNA tested not long ago, and I discovered something startling. My family goes back to the Mayflower. I am probably the whitest human being you will ever meet. 99.99% Western European, Irish, and Norwegian. I'm embarrassed. Couldn't somebody have had an affair somewhere along the line in my history on both sides of the family? But I'm telling you this not to be proud of the fact that I had a bunch of Puritans that never went anywhere. I'm telling you this because I'm allergic to the sunshine. I'm from the foggiest part of the world, I guess. And so I burn and get scalded and all those things. And so I started coming up with formulas for all these various things, and that's why I was going to this dermatologist. The dermatologist was used to seeing me. I'd been going to him for a number of years, as I said. And I went to him with this foot fungus on one foot. And it was the same thing that my mother had suffered with for 20 years of her life on the opposite foot. Why it's just one foot and not both, but I've heard it over and over the years since then. But this dermatologist, I went to him 3 times. He'd give me some salve. The salve would work for a few weeks, and in about a month or 6 weeks, it would be back growing again, and I'd have to go see him again. So I went 3 times. Now, but even though he's a friend, I'm paying him full price. I didn't have any medical insurance, so I was digging this out of my own pocket, and I was paying him for this remedy. And he said, on the 3rd visit, he said, "Jim, I've got patients with real problems. This is just foot fungus. You're the herb guy. Go home and figure out something to cure it." Well, I paid him his money, and I went away miffed. I thought, you're the doctor. You're supposed to know all this. But I took it as a challenge, and I started thinking about plants that have natural antifungal properties. Things that will get rid of black spot on roses, for instance, or blue fungus that grows on monarda leaves and dogwood and things like that. So I started experimenting. And I came up with a mixture, and it worked. And I told him, and he said, "Well, that's nice. I'm glad you did." And I thought, I just put a lot of emotional energy into this project, and you're saying, "Oh, that's nice." So a few months went along, and my father, aged 80 at the time, I think, showed me his thumb one day, and he said, "Do you know anything about nail fungus?" And I said, "A little." "Why?" And he said, "Well, this is nail fungus, and my doctor said he's going to remove my thumbnail." And I said, "Well, let's try something else first." So I mixed up some of my mixture, and I said, "Soak every night for 5 minutes while you're watching the 10 o'clock news." So in a few weeks, he called me, and he said, "My doctor wants you to call." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I don't know, he just wants you to call." And so I'm thinking the doctor's going to say, "You're practicing medicine? What are you doing?" I called the doctor, and that wasn't what he wanted. He said, "What are you doing for your father's thumbnail?" And I told him that I had this formula that I'd used on my foot. And he said, "I've never seen anything get rid of nail fungus before. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." So I thought, oh, okay, maybe I have a product. My dermatologist, when I started packaging it and selling it, said, okay, I'll start recommending it to my patients. And so he got it in the pharmacy in the doctor building, and we went from there. So I've been doing it all those years. So there is a remedy for nail fungus. Don't dare let a doctor remove your nail, because it will grow back, probably with nail fungus, and it makes no more sense than you go to a doctor with a broken arm and he says, well, we've got to amputate your arm. Well, find another doctor, because there are things that will absolutely cure nail fungus without removing your nail.